Welcome to the Vibe Higher podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Rochowiak, your go-to for all things self-growth, personal development, and becoming your most authentic self. I know you've got a dream on your heart and a vision in your mind you are so ready to experience and unlock in your life, and I'm here to help you do just that. Meet me here every single weekday at 5 a.m. That's right, Monday through Friday, to start your morning off right. Come get your vibe right, elevate your confidence, worthiness, and voice so you can finally start being the person that you desire to be. Get ready to vibe higher because your next level starts now. Yay, welcome back, beautiful woman. Welcome to the Vibe Higher podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you. Welcome back to another episode. We are talking today about the real reason that you are not growing. And I'm very excited to talk about this topic because in my personal life, I have gotten to the point where I am showing up as the woman I've always dreamed of being that I've never been able to access ever. And witnessing and watching myself do it in real time, show up for things I couldn't show up for in the past. I cannot tell you how much joy and excitement and pride I feel within myself for having done such wonderful work in my life that has gotten me to the point where I feel so much more free from that which has held me back my entire life. And so I want to talk to you about these things that might be holding you back and why you might not be growing in the way that you want to, which is a super fun way to end 2025, or at least as we enter the true last month of 2025, I think it's important for us to talk about growth. Something that I've always wished for myself is the ability to spend the entire winter months working out in our gym. My husband and I have a home gym. And I wanted to get a lot of strength in. I wanted to work on my muscles. I wanted to get in good shape. My husband and I have a joke going right now. It's time to get shreddy. He is my personal trainer right now because I'm willing to be seen. I want to be seen. I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm ready. I'm willing. I feel safe. I feel safe. I feel safe. And I couldn't before. And as much as my husband is the safest, most wonderful human I have ever met, my nervous system was not equipped to be seen in vulnerability of not knowing how to do something, feeling like even teamwork, intimately working as a team with my partner brought up all kinds of triggers because my original wounding is from intimate relationships having violated me, caused serious betrayal and trust issues. So it's been difficult for my beingness, my body, my nervous system to feel safe being completely myself. So going out of the gym and laughing and having fun and working out and being seen and being like, I don't know what I'm doing. How do you do that? Can you do that again? I'm just in a position where I'm excited to do anything. I'm excited to do what I want to do. And I'm also not embarrassed to not know how to do something, which was a big block for me. Feeling embarrassed, or more so the fear of being embarrassed or humiliated, was something that definitely stopped me in my path. And I know why. I think something that we need as women in order to be able to move forward and grow is an understanding of why. I had a client that I was working with not that long ago, and she just kept asking the question, like, why can't I move? Why can't I go after what I want? Why can't I leave this relationship? Why can't I let go? Like, what? Why? What is going on? And those questions are such good questions to ask. And you also want to follow through on investigating them. So if you have any questions on things you're struggling with in your life, why you can't go all the way with a goal, why you feel intimidated to be seen, why you're holding your voice back, I invite you not to just allow it to be happening, but question why. And you want to do it with a curiosity versus a frustration. I personally think that when we have a frustration around not knowing something, I think our anger, that emotion that's there, is flaring up to protect us from feeling how we actually feel, which is embarrassed or maybe ashamed, or we're in fear of being humiliated or rejected. Or I think the anger flares up as a protective emotion because it is. I love the work of Carla McLaren for emotions. She describes anger as a boundary-setting protective emotion, and it can come up and it's honorable and it's beautiful. And now that I've worked with anger in many, many ways, because I couldn't access true anger for many, many years now, for a long time actually, I couldn't access it at all. Things that should have gotten me very upset just didn't, because I was afraid of my anger. I was afraid of my power. I was trained and conditioned to suppress my anger. So it was difficult to let it up, because when I started to let up my anger from healing from my sexual abuse background, it was deep, deep, deep rage. Oh my gosh, the depth of the rage that I felt was enormous, so enormous. So anyways, I want to talk to you today about growing. I want to talk to you today about how I've overcome blocks within my life and how I have helped my clients do the same. I want to share some transformation stories about my clients, how they have been doing this work in real time. And it was so funny. I was on my walk today and I found, okay, let me back up. I realized that my job as this coach, content creator, podcaster, I sit in this pink chair so long, so many hours. I started putting a timer on my computer for 45 minutes, and after 45 minutes, I need to get up and stretch for 5 minutes at least, and then I can get back into the workflow. And I'll abide by it for the first time, and then after that, I just keep turning the timer on again after the 45 minutes to keep going, and I'm not taking the break, so I'm like cheating myself. So I woke up today excited because I let go of a few things last night, and I had a surge of energy to commit more to my life, because that's something we need to talk about. When you let go of things that are holding you back and that are not aligned with your pursuit of growth, you gain energy back. When you actually let them go, you gain energy back. And when you don't let them go, you start to feel heavy, unmotivated, uninspired, lethargic, because it doesn't match where you're going or who you're becoming. Okay, I have some ginger tea. I want to take a sip, and I want for anyone that's listening on Apple on iTunes or Spotify to know that I am recording a video for this podcast. You can sit with me in real time, have some tea with me. Oh my gosh, how fun. Come sit with me in the video. And I'm over on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and give me a comment down below and tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm super, super curious. I went for a walk today because I realized that I am not moving my body enough. I'm barely getting any steps in. I work from home. And I decided it was probably a good idea for me to go to the park. So after I did a Pilates class this morning, I went to the local park and I walked about 3 laps. And I think that's about 4 miles, because it's about 1.25 when you do 1 lap. And there's a cat that's been hanging out at this park. I call him Alfred, but I call him Alfie for short. My little Alfie friend. And he was just at the park walking around, and I started to call his name, and we met up, and he walked with me for a little bit, and he just got me so excited to walk, and it was really exciting. And to be able to I believe I got about 10,000 steps in, I recognized, like, wow, I have been so sedentary and not moving and not growing, and it kept me in an LISS state, a low intensity steady state, where my heart rate was elevated just enough. And I was walking for about 1 hour and 6 minutes with a brisk pace. And it just brought me to a place of feeling really good about myself, because being able to do something as simple as going and walking at the park because I know I need the activity, and doing the things that I want to do and say I'm going to do, like the Pilates class I did this morning, it's not something that I could do before. It just wasn't. The trauma response I was in, the nervous system dysregulation I was constantly in, I was very dissociated from the moment. I couldn't do things that I wanted to do. I could tell you I wanted to do a Pilates class and be more active and work out over the winter and get in really good shape, but then I never would follow through on it. And it was so frustrating and agonizing, because I genuinely believed something was wrong with me. That's like an underlying belief, that's an underlying wound, and it's an underlying story that I have going on, that there's something wrong with me. And I kept getting proven right too, that there is something wrong with me. I can't do simple things. But that was before I understood being in freeze state in the nervous system. That was before I understood that I had serious traumatic implications from what I had been through in my past. I'm 33 now. I just turned 33, and I didn't know that I was abused sexually until I turned 30. The memories started to surface. So all of these dying questions on, like, what the heck is wrong with me? I can't do simple things. I can't keep up with normal life. I can't keep a job. I can't do the dishes and cook dinner and do laundry and take care of my animals. Like, I felt like I was a constant failure in my life because I could not hold my responsibilities. I could not hold my life. I had no space because I was so devastated and collapsed within myself. So I couldn't grow because I had no access to move. I needed to face my despair and my devastation, my pain, my hurt. I needed to go inside of myself, honestly, and find the little girl that was hurt. And it took me 3 consistent years of remembering the abuse and letting the memories come up again and again and again. And I did a pretty good job doing a lot of it on my own with my husband's support, but it's really me doing the work. And I let up most of the memories, but there were a couple that when they started to come up and I started to realize the potentiality of that having happened to me, I would reject it and say no, and it would go right back down. And I would prolong my healing because it was just so hard to believe that what was coming up had happened to me. And my specific reasons for not being able to grow are things that I want to put into a lesson format for you, because these are things that have helped me actually become the woman who shows up in her life the way she dreams of. I can show up for the things I say I want to do. I actually do follow through on my word. I can trust myself. I could never trust myself before. I would tell you I wanted to do something. I'd tell you I would do something, and then I wouldn't follow through on it. I wouldn't commit to it. I couldn't see it all the way through. So I want to help you if you are in a position like that, where you are wanting to grow, wanting to access more of who you are, but for some reason you can't. So we are going to dive into some fun lecture today and podcast. But I, for some reason, am out of breath. So I would like to pause and take a deep breath with you so I can collect myself. I'm just really excited to be here. And I also want to announce, I don't think I've said it yet, that my office space and setup that you are witnessing with me right now is going to be different pretty soon in the next few episodes. And I'm really excited about it because I'm going to be painting it a soft color. I'm moving the entire room around so that podcasting looks and works so much better. So I'm so excited because I don't know what it's going to look like yet. But anytime I rearrange my office, I know something good is happening. And right now, that's the itch I have. It's time to paint and rearrange this office for better workflow. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so you see that. Okay, let's take a deep breath. We always breathe in through the nose, and we're going to fill our bellies up. Okay, breathe in. And out of the nose. Breathing into your belly, breathe in. And out. Last time, we're going to breathe in, fill your belly up. And release. That is better. Number one thing that you need to pay attention to and get better at when it comes to the reasons you're not growing is understanding what excuses you're telling yourself that are talking you out of doing the things that you want to do. There is an inner negotiator in your mind, and the inner negotiator, that sneaky little negotiator, is negotiating you out of doing what you want to do. You ever have those mornings where you wake up, you tell yourself you're going to work out, and then you start negotiating in the morning if you're going to do it or if you should do it later, or you're not really feeling it that morning, and you just have that conversation in your mind around if you're going to do the thing you said you want to do. And instead of just doing it and committing to it, you actually waste time debating if you should. It's silly when you can start to look at it, but it's so real. Like, we have an inner negotiator that negotiates us out of doing the work. So before we can even dive into any of the action-oriented work, which we're going to talk about, you have to have an awareness of what's happening in your mind. You have to have an awareness of the stories you're listening to, of the excuses that are playing out, and the inner negotiator, that voice that does talk you out of doing the things that you want to do. And part of this process, too, is you might need genuine healing in order to grow. You might need to heal from the things that your nervous system deems unsafe. In order, like, moving means growth, and your nervous system does not know, your brain doesn't know, it cannot predict what's over there a few steps ahead in your path. And it doesn't feel safe to allow that. So it pulls you right back to your normal homeostasis as the person that doesn't go after what she desires and dreams. And there's nothing wrong with you for that. That is your nervous system protecting you and your brain protecting you from going into the unknown, where you might have some kind of dangerous experience or, worst case scenario, die. So it's genuinely doing its job, keeping you from moving. However, it's not helping you thrive. Your nervous system is not designed to help you thrive. It's actually designed for you to survive. It's keeping you safe, alive, and surviving. So you have to be the inner leader that comes online and nurtures your way into growth and supports yourself into growth and parents the parts of you that are afraid of growing into wholeness so that you can access the ability to walk forward on your path. It's a lot of different things. And it sounds like a lot, but the process of healing is beautiful because you become so much more integrated and present and whole. And when you can start having a dialect with your inner world and you can have conversations with these different protector parts of you that are trying to protect you from danger and harm, which is usually keeping you from your dreams, and you can talk to them sweetly and no longer let the inner critic really whip you into submission and be cruel to you. You can be the one that decides, hey, inner world, I know we're feeling afraid. It makes total sense I feel this way, and I'm going to choose to move forward anyways. So first thing we need to talk about is awareness. One of the reasons that you are not growing is because your mindset doesn't align with it. You are not in a growth-oriented mindset. You are in survival mode, and survival mode does not match thriving mode. Thriving mode is when you are growing, when you're aligned with your path, when you're evolving, when you are becoming. Your nervous system does not care about your happiness, your joy, your mission, your passions. It cares about keeping you safe. So again, it's doing its job very well. We want to look at your excuses. So excuses, because I've brought this up a little bit so far in this podcast. Excuses are thoughts, sound in your mind that are giving you some kind of out, some kind of permission slip out of doing what you want to do or could do for the benefit of your life. The excuses that come up are ways of deterring you from your path. So you have to start to build an awareness of what thoughts you're thinking on a regular basis and starting to pay attention to those excuses. Because when you can start to catch the excuses in real time, which are moments to be celebrated that you can see them, you then want to pursue the path forward. You want to continue to grow, even though there are excuses, which I consider the inner negotiator. So even though the inner negotiator is trying to negotiate you out of doing what you should be doing by giving you a reason why, but doesn't Netflix sound so much better? I'd rather go make some brownies and put on a movie. I'm not feeling up to it right now. I don't know. I just don't feel like doing anything. I had a client I was working with the other day. I was messaging her because between my sessions with my clients, we meet once a week for a session. We are chatting in an open chat box between the two of us every single day. So I'm constantly checking in, keeping you accountable to your goals, asking you how you're doing, processing things in real time, motivating you. And I reached out to my client. I was like, hey, did you do the meal prep? Like, how did the weekend go? What's going on? And she said something along the lines of, she's going to see another holistic practitioner for lab work, blood work, things of that nature. And she was like, no, I didn't really have the funds for everything I wanted. And I didn't know exactly what I could and couldn't eat because I'm going to see this practitioner. So no, I didn't really get anything. And that had started because she only ate like grapes one day in the afternoon. And I'm like, what? What about breakfast? Like, I thought we talked about having breakfast, blood sugar support, hormone support. Like, what are we doing here? What's happening? And she gave me this excuse of, well, I didn't really have the funds and I didn't know if I should, so I didn't. So I didn't really get anything I wanted, and I didn't. And I was like, wow, that's a pretty big excuse that you actually believed. And she's like, yeah, yeah, I did. So it was really funny. Because those moments are not moments to shame yourself or harm yourself or be cruel to yourself on. They're moments to learn or see. She had another time where I reached out to her about doing, I think I sent her a Pilates class to do, and I asked her if she did the Pilates class, and she said, you know what? No, I actually didn't, because I just woke up feeling like I just don't want to do anything today. So I didn't really do anything besides some laundry or dishes or something like that. And I was like, oh, so you believed an excuse. I don't want to do anything today. You gave power to the excuse. And she's like, oh, I'm like, that's what it is that part of you that's like, I don't want to, I don't feel like it, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know if I should, so I just put it off, nah. So that's the voice of the mind that you have to start to pay attention to and just see it for what it is, that there is an inner negotiator spitting out excuses, trying to get you to stop moving, Because your nervous system is very clever and it's trying to pull you back from doing what you want to do because it doesn't want you to grow. And it's not anything bad about you or your nervous system. It is ultimately that your nervous system wants to keep you safe and it's doing a good job. Even if you're in an environment where you don't feel like you love it and you don't like it and things are not going well, you're still surviving and alive, right? So it's doing a good job. So number one, you have to build an awareness around your excuse. If you have any excuses that you are aware of, I don't feel like it, I can't, I'm not smart enough, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Leave me a couple down below. I want to hear what yours are. Consider it market research. Okay, another thing is the reason you're not growing is because you may not have the energy to move forward from having so many open tasks in your mind. Anytime you have tasks that you have incomplete, you have not committed to completing them, they are open in your mind as an incomplete loop, and you have not closed the loop by completing the task. And so you have this drainage of energy because your mind is holding on to it because it needs to get done. And until you start doing the things, if you didn't listen to yesterday's podcast episode, 2 questions to elevate your clarity, go listen to that because it will help you understand what to look for, what those things are that you're not doing. You want to start to make a list of all the things that you are not doing that you know you should be doing, and you need to start doing them. Even though you have excuses around it's too hard, it's too much, it's too big, I'm too tired, you still want to do them because you'll gain energy back from completing the tasks. Think of having your web browser open and you have 15 tabs open, and imagine your computer's running a little slower because there's so many things running at the same time. That's kind of like what's happening in your mind. There's too many things happening at the same time, and you need to step in and support yourself by closing the tabs, by doing the work to complete the task. When you do, you gain energy back because your mind and body aren't holding anything anymore. And anytime you're holding anything, you are draining your energy and your life force. So you will I was just thinking about too, because when you also let go of things, which is completing a task, you also will gain energy back. I let go of 3 things last night. Something that I'm consuming, something that I am putting on my body, and then a person. And I let go of all 3 last night. I made the decision. I am done with these things and this person. And I gained so much energy back. I felt like I just had this burst of electricity run through me, and I was so excited. And I got so much done last night, and I woke up and I'm like, let's do Pilates and let's go on a walk. Like, I just had so much energy to me from it. So closing the loops, finishing your tasks, and also consider conversations. You need to be completing conversations that you haven't had, that you're putting off, that you're uncomfortable by. You also need to have conversations. Whatever you're procrastinating, whatever you haven't finished yet, spend time committing to them. Put the work in up front to commit those things. You will gain a lot of energy back. And when you gain energy back, you can move forward. You can grow. Another reason you are not growing is because you have limiting beliefs, and the limiting beliefs do not allow you to be the version of yourself who does show up well, who does do her work, who does grow efficiently and productively, because it doesn't match the way you feel about yourself based on the way you think about yourself. So if you have beliefs that you are not enough, you are not capable, you are not worthy, then showing up as the person who does align with her growth and does move and does pursue what she desires doesn't match the way you feel about yourself. So if you're working on action-oriented things first, so you're working on changing your outside world by showing up in it differently, but you're not doing the inner work to change who you see yourself as, the relationship you have with yourself and how you feel about yourself, you're not going to be moving anywhere. I've learned this the hard way. It's taken me literally 13 years to get to a point where I'm like, wow, I'm actually committing to my word. Wow, I can trust myself. Wow, I'm moving. Oh my God, I've literally completed everything on my goal list. All the things that I've always wanted to pursue and go after, I am doing. I never thought I would get here. I had beliefs on like, is it ever going to work for me? Is it ever going to happen for me? When is it going to happen for me? What's wrong with me? Why can't I? I had all of these victim mindsets because I genuinely didn't know why. I was trying to show up in my life and do the winter exercising, go to the gym, and I would fall off after a couple times. Or anything that I would start, I would fall off. I would start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And I needed to work on changing the way I related with myself. So when I started to show up outside of myself as the version of me who was growth oriented, who did move, who did shine, who did grow, who did allow herself to be seen. It was something that I had conditioned myself to feel safe with and to be able to do. So you need to go inside and do work on your belief systems. And if this kind of information is exciting and you want to know more and you want to do this personal development work, you want to discover what's going on with you, you want to maximize and optimize your life's experience, and redesign your mind and redesign your lifestyle, your relationship with yourself, I highly recommend you come join my personal development membership, Seedlings. It is an online membership where we meet every Saturday for a live session just like this for 90 minutes. And we rotate between transformation workshops where I'm lecturing you and doing open Q&A chat and hot seat coaching, where if you have something you want to work on, I bring you forward and I do it real time. And we all gain a lot of wisdom from hearing somebody's story and then being me helping you through that process until you get that aha moment. It's so cool. It's so fun. So wonderful. And I put really powerful transformation workshops together. Like I am researching, I'm reading, I'm putting together presentations. The workshop is amazing. Like you're learning a lot of things about you and you can take it into your real life immediately and apply it and change your life for the better. So join Seedlings. We meet every Saturday for the transformation workshop, or we rotate between a heart healing ceremony because we don't want to just intellectualize things. We actually want to go in and do the embodiment work. And we do work with the plant medicine ceremonial cacao, which is optional, but highly recommended. You don't need it though. If you want to join Seedlings and come meet with me every Saturday or catch the replays and be in the group hub with me, you can go to vibehigherwithsarah.com/seedlings. vibehigherwithsarah.com/seedlings. Come have fun in school. Class is in session. We have so much fun. And the ceremonies are so healing and so beautiful. And it's an invitation to go inside, guided. I guide you inside. So come join. It's so much fun. So number 2, we want to think about the real reason you're not growing is because your nervous system is like, nuh-uh, it's not safe. It's not safe. No. So we need to start to work with helping our nervous system titrate, which means allowing it to go, because what most of my clients come to me with is they're stuck in like an overstimulated mode where it's too hot. They're just too high up in stimulation and they cannot really come down. They're in serious survival mode. They have a lot of anxiety and overwhelm and they need help just bringing things down a couple notches so that they can be more present and grounded and calm. So we do somatic experiencing in my one-on-one sessions to help your nervous system reorient back to normality, to where it can flow between stimulation and relaxation. So we want to work on the mindset, because when we think different thoughts and when we can soothe ourselves, we can really help our body feel safe and calm and protected by our own selves. And when we do the healing work necessary to get ourselves more present as the parent to ourselves, as the mother to ourselves, it is then that we can really nurture ourselves through change. And something too, if you're growing, is you need to consider, and this is something I could never do because when I was in survival mode, it was all about getting to the goal as fast as possible because I believed that's where my happiness or joy or confidence or wherever the thing I was wanting most in life I thought was in the goal, like the outcome of it, I mean. So it was never about the journey and the lifestyle. It was always about getting the thing because I thought it would provide me something that I needed in order to feel okay, feel better. So I would take on too much at once. I wouldn't be able to go slow because I wanted to get there as fast as possible because I was trying to escape my reality. But what I've learned is that slow and steady actually takes you all the way. So when you start to slow down and you do one thing at a time, like I'm working with 2 of my clients right now, we've got one goal that we've chosen and we're working on building a strong connection with that one thing until she gets good at it and is consistent with it and can prioritize that and really commit to it. When she has proven to herself that I can do this, look at me doing this, and we build that sense of confidence and that sense of worthiness and that sense of stability, that ability to trust herself, then we can add on the next goal, the next thing. Building a healthy lifestyle, building a healthy routine. The change is big for the nervous system. Any change is. So we have to go slow. We need to nurture change with love and patience and grace. For example, one of my clients went and saw this holistic practitioner, is getting in the best shape of her life. I absolutely love it. And she's been assigned to do 3 strength training classes every single week. And I'm like, girl, I've been telling you this. Let's go. So excited for her. And I know that it can be difficult to just jump into 3 classes a week at once. And I know that when you're building a strong spine to lean on, to trust yourself, to show up in life, when you have all this healing work you're doing, it's beneficial to go slow. So I supported her with, I want you to commit to 1 this week, 2 classes next week, and 3 classes the third week. So take your time building it into your routine, prove to yourself, I can do this, start getting used to it. And if you can do more than that 1 this week or more than 2 next week, do it as bonuses, but just start building your way into the consistency of the new goal instead of jumping in all the way. And if you can jump in all the way, amazing, master it, go all the way. But for a lot of people who are healing from trauma, it can be too much. So going slow and proving to yourself you can do it is actually a way that can help you go all the way. So the real reason you're not growing is, number 1, there are conflicting and opposing thoughts and beliefs within yourself that do not align with the version of yourself that you want to be, that is that dream self, dream life. And that's something that you need to work on. We need to look at and discover, what are these opposing forces within me that do not want me to move towards the version of me and the dream life that I desire? And usually there's a lot of fear underneath the surface. I remember I was working with a client once who I shared with her that she's like, I don't know why, like I can't go after what I want. I can't grow. I can't do these things. I can't commit to my goals. And I shared that my reflection for you is that I feel from you that there is a lot of fear around change and uncertainty. And she's like, what? No, I don't have any fear. I was like, you don't have any fear? She's like, no, I don't have any fear. Like, not at all. That is not it at all. And I'm like, okay, so we are so disconnected from the emotional state of fear that we don't even recognize its presence. Okay, now I see what work we need to do together is to get you to come into the body and feel what's here. Because when you're living in the mind, you're not paying attention to your feelings and emotions because you're overstimulated. And usually, well, this person was drinking a lot of caffeine, so you are numbing the sensations, the feeling, the emotions that are here and can't access it. So I knew exactly when that moment happened. I'm like, grounding and embodiment work. That's what we need to do. And we were on and off working together. And I think it was maybe a year later, we were talking and catching up on things. And I shared with her, we were talking about something and she said something about, I said, what are you afraid will happen if you do that? Or what are you afraid will happen if you don't do that? And she gave me an answer on what she was afraid of and said in the sentence, I'm afraid blank. And I was like, so can you see that you are telling me that you're afraid? And then you're describing the fear again and again in this statement, that there's a lot of fear present. She was like, oh my God, I see it. Oh my God, I see it. I see the fear everywhere. It's everywhere. Oh my God, it's everywhere. And I'm like, yes. And it's okay. It's okay to feel fear. Congratulations on feeling it, on seeing it, on accessing it. So a lot of the work that I do is helping women see what's happening, because you can't change if you can't. The real reason you're not growing is because you can't see why you're not. It's all about perception. It's all about being able to see what is happening clearly. And when you can see what's happening, like when you can work on with that individual who had fear, when you can sit with the self and ask yourself, what am I most afraid will happen if I do succeed? And then the fear is I'm going to be rejected or killed or raped or murdered, which were some that I used to be afraid of. It's like, okay, wow, I see that. I have space for that. I recognize that. And just holding space for the feelings, letting them exist. And what I'll often tell my clients is if I give your mind a microphone, or if I give your emotions a microphone, or that part of you a microphone, what would it say right now? And giving these different parts of you a voice to truly open up and share what's going on. So it's all about self-discovery, self-growth, self-healing, self-alignment, self-orienting, self-grounding, and self-healing. If you want to grow, come join Seedlings, because Seedlings is a personal growth membership where we are in real time working on things together, and we have live Q&A every single time. I ask you questions about things that are going on and you bring it forward. Practice in a safe space with me, feeling more comfortable being uncomfortable. Come be seen, come be heard. Very scary things at first, but when you're a group of other women doing it and you see other women being brave and doing it, it inspires you to do the same. It's good to be in community with women like that. Join that. Good. So solutions is number one. You have to just build the awareness. So your biggest takeaway today should be that there needs to be an awareness of what you're thinking about. So I just need you to start to pay attention to what thoughts you're thinking on a regular basis and start there. We're just going to start by building awareness. That's the number one thing that you need to do. Look for the inner negotiator. Now that you know it exists, look for the excuses. Look for when you want to work out and then your mind's like, I don't really feel like it. I'm too tired. I won't have any time to do other things I want to do. Look for that voice. And then when you catch it, I want you to celebrate, because that's a big moment when you start to catch the thoughts and you can show up anyway. And you can be the inner authority, the inner leader that shows up regardless of these parts of you that are like, no, I don't want to grow. So start by building awareness. That's your takeaway today. 2 more announcements to leave you with, my dear friend. We have devotion starting, and devotion is my 4-week call to the altar. It's a slow down. It's an invitation to slow down for the remaining of 2025 and spend some time with you, connecting with you. So if this kind of work of going in, connecting with yourself, discovering these different parts of you, accessing more of your potential or things you're interested in, devotion is going to be a really amazing experience for you to be fully guided in the process of learning how to connect with yourself more deeply and intimately. We are working with ceremonial cacao, which is a heart-opening plant medicine. It is not something you need in order to join the challenge, but it is something that truly helps with the process. So if you want to get your hands on some ceremonial cacao, I will leave a link down below for my favorite company. We are using the 4-pack Elemental Blend by Cacao Laboratory. You can use my code HOLISTIC10 for 10% off at Cacao Laboratory and get the 4-pack Elemental Blend, because that is what we are using. Because each week we are meeting for live ceremonies every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time to end our week and start the new one with a deep ceremony. And we're going into different themes of embodiment work, coming into the body and out of the mind, connecting with a higher intelligence, our higher self, and releasing that which doesn't align anymore, and also then transforming into and stoking the fire of personal growth so you can move into 2026 with integrity and inspiration and motivation and fire and drive and more confidence in who you are. It's going to be so amazing. Doors close November 28th. We do start November 30th. We're jumping right in. So if you want to join, click the link down below, or you can go to vibehigherwithsarah.com/devotion. Again, that is vibehigherwithsarah.com/devotion. Last announcement, I have 3 spaces open for one-on-one work. So if you want to allow me to be your mentor and have me work with you, I'll be in your back pocket, helping you every day, every step of the way. You're going to learn, you're going to heal, you're going to grow, you're going to become, you're going to go all the way with your goals. And I'm going to support you in expanding your capacity to receive more of what you want, to let it in and to move towards it. We have so much fun in our one-on-one time together. It's my favorite, and it's a way for you to learn how to feel safer in intimacy with another, and for us to build a healthy relationship together and to grow. If you want to be seen and you want to really have a space to feel all of your emotions and have help being guided to that, it's really powerful. We're going to redesign your mind, your life, your body, your being. We're going to get everything aligned with your best self. It is so fun. If you want to apply for working with me, you can go to vibehigherwithsarah.com/journey. That is vibehigherwithsarah.com/journey. All right, my dear. Thank you for everyone that's here live with me. Thank you so much, friend, for tuning into the Vibe Higher podcast today. If you loved today's episode, please share it with a friend, leave me a review, and do not forget to subscribe so you never miss your Monday morning level up. For more tools, inspiration, and ways to work with me, visit vibehigherwithsarah.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and keep vibing higher.